Hi.
Hi, thanks
Hi.
for joining us.
Hello.
Hi, Gloria.
Good morning, everyone. Sorry for the confusion.
That's okay.
Well, let me welcome everyone. We'll just get started. My name is Mike Walsh. I'm with the Central PA MLK Day of Service Committee, and we're delighted that you are joining us for an important conversation on food insecurity. And we have some very special guests with us that we look forward to hearing from, who deal with this important issue each day in their work. And I did want to note up front that this is being recorded. So if anyone doesn't want to be on camera, please turn your camera off, and this will be shared at a later date at the Central PA MLK Day of Service website. And so I just wanted to note that up front. Now it's my honor to introduce Eileen Jacobs, who is a longtime board member at the Central PA MLK Day of Service, and who has been working on this issue for us as part of this virtual Day of Service. So welcome, and I'll turn it over to you, Eileen.
Okay, thank you, Mike. Thank you for joining us. Joe Arthur from the Central PA Food Bank, I'm the CEO, and Gloria Merrick, the Executive Director of the Latino Hispanic Community Center in the Allison Hill area of Harrisburg. Thank you for joining us today to have just an open floor discussion on food security. I wanted to give you both the floor in discussing food insecurity, the challenges and concerns and activities or drives you've been having since with COVID, and what's been the difference between pre-COVID and now.
Okay, Eileen, thank you very much. And thank you to Representative Patty Kim and to Marisa and all of the folks that make the MLK Day happen in Central Pennsylvania. It has been, like it has been for everybody, just a crazy, almost a year now in COVID, 10 months. And I'm sure folks have been seeing the news stories almost from day to day about just how many people have been coming for food assistance, just as an example of the need. And that's only one of the basic necessities that people have been struggling with. And to kind of put some quick numbers on it, we've shared about 40% more food during that 10-month period than we did the prior year, which already was a record from other years. And that really hasn't decreased as of late. You know, here it's January, just in December, our December was about 55% higher than the previous year. So we saw that amount of need for assistance just ramp up through the holidays, and it continues now. Of course, we're doing all of this work a lot differently than we used to. So instead of all of our wonderful partner organizations like Gloria's organization, you know, throwing open the doors and having people come in for groceries or prepared meals, all of that has had to turn into curbside service and you know, trunk service, put the groceries in the trunk and wave to everybody, and everybody has their masks on, and everybody's social distancing, and everybody's sanitizing and doing all of that every single day. So we don't get to talk as much with clients, and we really miss that, and we miss out on what they might be struggling with. But enough information comes through to really get down to what people are struggling with, and it's really their job situation, their children and school situation, and needing to be at home for a lot of that schooling. And all of these are pressures on people, and food assistance is just one of the things that they can get help with right here locally through the Central Pennsylvania Food Bank and our partners. But it's, you know, it's been also inspiring to watch the the donors respond, which they have this year. They're always generous, but we've had new donors, our existing donors, companies, people, you name it, just jumping in and helping to provide really the dollars that are making the crisis response go. And also volunteerism. So even today, even though most of the activities around the area are virtual by necessity, we still have volunteers packing crisis response boxes on MLK Day. Traditionally, we call it a day on, instead of a day off here at the food bank. So we make opportunities every year on MLK Day throughout our service territory and including here in the Harrisburg region. And this year we still have box packing going on at the farm show complex. So we do still have physical activity going on with volunteers, and we're incredibly thankful for them, that they've been staying with us, through the whole duration of the pandemic. And I'll just kind of close and turn it over to Gloria in a moment, and just let folks know we still need you, right? We have this record high level of need that we think is going to be around for months and months, and so we've been prepared and are preparing to continue at this level as long as it takes. And the only way we can really do that is with that volunteerism and that generosity. And these days it's really virtual, so. Very thankful to the MLK Day folks for setting up a virtual food drive right from the website. And that what that does is bring donations in that we then put into the response, namely to purchase healthy food. That's basically what we do with it. So thankful for that, and also promoting the opportunity to still volunteer as we move forward, because we do need volunteers in the pandemic to make sure those crisis response boxes get packed. So that's our call to service, not just today, but every day.
Yes.
So thank you, Eileen.
Thank you, Joe. And Gloria, if you want to go ahead and discuss the Latino Hispanic Community Center. I know that you guys have been doing food drives.
Right. Joe, first, I just want to say thank you to Joe for all his support, because if it wasn't for the Central Pennsylvania Food Bank and the Blake Lynch, Harrisburg Police Department, and all our volunteers, we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing right now to help the community. So thank you, Joe. Greatly appreciated. And on behalf of the entire community, thank you. I just want to say the Latino Center is a basic human needs organization, and typically we provide food, clothing, shelter, safety, and safety. I talk domestic violence and all kinds of human trafficking, and a whole lot of other things. But we also have programs that we offer. And so what's happened now is that we've had to kind of retrofit the entire center, because during COVID, we can't offer all those other programs. And so when we look at all of our programs, we normally are providing about, and we're a small center right in the heart of Allison Hill, primarily serving 85% Latino population and 15%, the rest of the community. So just to put that in perspective for you, during a typical year, we're providing close to 15,000 services in, all of that encompassed. And just during COVID, from March to December, we have provided food to over 11,000 head of household. So we're every week providing food to a head of household that come to the center. In half an hour, we go through 200 plus boxes. And we run 2 lines. We run a car drive-through, and we also have the walk-ins. And it's been very intense in terms of trying to accommodate the food needs, and not always being able even to accommodate all of the food needs in a particular week, because like I said, we do get 200 boxes, sometimes 225, and we go through those by 35 minutes, they're all gone. But we do the best we can. I can say that in the last 3 weeks, we did not have food distribution, simply because, we need to take a break from it, and we need to kind of, regroup, reestablish, and food bank, and everybody's trying to get things back in sync again. for the new year. And so just to say that during that time, and I think it was just 2 weeks, we did not get food. My door, people were knocking on my door saying, I know you don't have food distribution today. Do you have any food? I'm getting messages on our ALHAC Facebook saying, are you giving food out today? And, you know, I had to go from saying, no, we're not giving out food today, to really, you know, trying to put my compassionate hat on and saying, do you need food? And in one instance, they said, I have a 3-year-old daughter. She doesn't have any milk today. Do you have anything? I said, well, come on up. And, you know, against our policy, you know, I gave her a couple dollars to say, here, go and buy some milk. And then I said, by the way, we have eggs here. And I gave her eggs and milk. I have another, you know, and I could just go on about the examples of families that coming in. So you can see that in that little gap, in just that little 2-week gap, it doesn't seem that big, but the food need is great in our community. It takes a community, it takes a number of organizations, and we have some great partners that are helping us. On a normal day, we would meet with the client, we would assess their needs, we do a comprehensive evaluation as, you know, as a case manager, and then, you know, make sure that they have their food insecurities met and so forth. Now, we keep the challenge for us is tracking. Like, you know, when you're getting dollars and people want you to track how many males, how many females, where do they live, this, that. And I'm saying to when we're reporting out, I'm saying it's impossible for us to right now track those numbers. And so that's the challenge that we have, is trying to, of course, substantiate our needs and what we're doing, and, you know, trying to leverage whatever information we can get. But yeah, it's, you know, as far as food insecurities, you know, I grew up in Allison Hill. I was born in Allison Hill, 2 blocks from the store where I used to go with $5 to get rice and beans and bread for a family of 8 for my mother. I went to St. Francis, where sometimes I was standing in line and I didn't have a token to get lunch. And I just hoped that whoever was at the end of that line was going to give me lunch, even though I didn't have a token. And sometimes they would say, well, Gloria, come back at the end when we're all finished and we'll see if you have any food left. Well, you know, food insecurity needs, and that was back when I was little. We still see a lot of that in our community, and it's pretty sad.
Thanks, Gloria, for your explanation. And thank you, Joe, also for also joining part in Day of Service for this discussion and conversation. And I'm just thinking, this is not a conversation that has to just stop today, but to obviously continue. I'm glad this is actually being recorded so we can share it on our platform, and in addressing food securities and other information that will come up. So again, thank you both, because we have another discussion on health that started, it's getting ready to start in the next 2 minutes. So again, visit us at the www.centralpamlkday.org. So thank you both again for